Hello and welcome. My name is Beck and you're watching Beck's Crafty Nook. Today we have a pattern review and I'm so excited about it. This didn't come from Pinterest like everything else that I find. It came straight to my inbox. So I found this in my email yesterday and I ran, I didn't walk, I had to finish a project to get this started. I had to finish a project so I could start this. And it is the Pacific Knit Co. Doodles Burger Edition. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I have to start something straight away. So I have signed up for Pacific Knit Co.'s email newsletter, and that's how I got it to my email. But this is their April Fool's release. So they did this whole little marketing campaign on their Instagram because I went looking to see if anyone had made them yet, which I have not found any pictures. But I had to make one straight away. And so they were like, this is a totally real, a not fake pattern. And they did all this really cute advertising. I love this artwork that they do. So I signed up for that a free workbook because what we'll get into is what you get with these patterns. So I signed up for a free workbook and then I was like, oh, I really like, it's a system. So it's a system of how you can rearrange doodles and make your own designs, and then you can knit from there. And they also give you a design if you don't want to be creative and make your own up, so that's really good. So I signed up for the free one and I really liked the system because I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy a pattern because I'm like, they're like $13, $15 Australian. I'm like, well, it's kind of expensive. And so when I signed up and I saw the free workbook was really good, I actually bought two patterns. I bought the Sea Doodles #2, which I am already making a video on, but because I'm making the project and the project is a bit larger, I haven't finished the video yet. And I'm also doing knitting versus crochet for that one. And I also bought the dinosaur one. And then I went back to go print out my dinosaur one and I was like, I bought it as a guest. So they only have my email because I signed up for the workbook. So make sure if you buy from the website that you sign in, otherwise you won't have access to your pattern. I can't find it in my email anywhere, but I'm pretty sure I saved a copy to my iPad straight away. So I've still got to download the dinosaur one. But let's have a look at what you get in the burger pattern. So this is the system. You'll buy, they have base patterns. They don't have this in the patterns that I bought, but I think this is a genius promo for them, and I think they should do it for every pattern. They've done this little promo where they show all of their base patterns. So for my other video, I bought the cow base pattern. They have a sock base pattern. They have a scarf, and they're working on the leg warmers, which everyone is actually really excited about. And so because the base pattern is like ribbing, stockinette stitch, where it's all, you know, smooth one side and the garter looking stitch the other side. Same with socks and all these other products. Then you can rearrange the doodles. I've got all different themes. Rearrange the doodles and make your own picture. So that's basically the system. And then when you buy a pack, you get these charts. You usually get 24 charts, I think we have in this pack, but each is 24 stitches wide. You get it with a light background or a dark background, so like the inverted and the other. So if you just want to do this in two different colors, you could do it this way, and if you want to do it colored like I did, you can do it this way, and you can mix and match. In my other video, I am mixing and matching, so you'll get to see that. So they're all the same width, and then the base pattern is made so it's the right amount of repeats, so you can have X amount of doodles. In their promo stuff that you can find in Pinterest, the charts are normally like a couple of motifs per this size. Like this is a really big motif. So you normally get 2 or 3 little motifs, and you can also cut out the repeats there and put them together. So you could do like cheese, tomato. Also, like sometimes when you look at the chart just by itself, you're not sure what is that. So it actually says it over here: avocado, tomato, cheese, the burger patty. What's it say? Oh, beef patty, turkey patty, bean patty. They all look the same. I guess you change the colors. And your bottom bun, and there's a top bun, and all other toppings that you can put on your burger. 26 different designs. So there's your top patty, your sauce, lettuce, cucumber, bacon, and all your other toppings. So that's the whole pack of charts that you get. They give you the numbers for the cow in this pattern. So you get a free pattern as well as the doodles. Then they have a page where you can check out all their socials and tutorials online. They have a YouTube channel. That's your pattern page. Now, if you don't want to be creative, not creative, whatever, don't want to make something yourself, which I didn't this time. Last time I made this really intricate pattern. They make one for you. So what I did for this project is I cut this out, and then they give you another page, and when you print that doodle chart out and you cut those, they fit into here. This one is supposed to be like a standalone pattern, so when I cut it out, it didn't exactly fit in there, but I could still follow the squares, so it was totally fine. So the other ones, you can cut them out and put them on here and like rearrange them how you like, which is how you can customize it. There's a space for like all the colors that you're going to use, because then you can color it in with colored pencil. So for just a quick thing, I cut these out because they were already colored. And so then I went on the internet because I wasn't sure about this bacon because it's like a brownish color, and I wasn't sure about those colors. So I actually went on the internet and I checked for people making like play food for tomato slice. I checked the tomato slices, which I ended up with red and a pink. And I checked this one, which I ended up with 2 different reds and a very light pink in the middle. So I'll show you what I've been making. It's not finished yet, and yesterday all day I was like, I have to make this burger sock. I'm making a burger sock. Everybody leave me alone. So I've gotten up to the heel flap, and don't forget to work, because we're working top down, ribbing down. Don't forget to turn your chart upside down, otherwise your burger will be the wrong way. So this is what I made. I've got a burger. Now, I had some technical difficulties because I'm a baby knitter, and I used the Short and Sweet Socks by Kay Jones, which should look like this, and I'm sorry they're dirty because I wore them yesterday. With the eyelets, because originally this was like looked like a strawberry. She did red here and green here, and the eyelets are supposed to be like strawberry seeds. So this is my very first sock, and I messed up on the eyelets. They're supposed to look like this, and then something happened there, and then we went back to normal. And then this is the sock. I had to finish the toe real quick, so that took a couple of hours. Get it off the needle so that I can make my burger socks. So this is with actual sock yarn. This is one of the skeins I got from Skein Sisters. I managed to get a hole right in the top. Everything else is fine. And I don't know how to fix knitting. Like, crochet is really easy to go back if you make a mistake, which is why I crochet. And so I ended up doing this with 8-ply yarn because I have more colors. And I'm new to color work as well, and you can get this as you got to do floats like tapestry, and as you do that, sometimes it can pull a little bit. I completely weaved in all my ends, but yeah, it can stop the stretch and it can get a bit tight there. But so I wove in all the ends up here. As I got to here, the floats went a lot better. You can see like that's totally fine. But yeah, my bun could have been a little bit darker, but I only had like this as a light brown, and I knew I needed it for the meat patty. So maybe I should have made a turkey burger. And then my daughter was like, oh, why didn't you use that color for the bun? But whatever. So I'm following their coloring that they put on the promo material, which is the red cuff, a red toe, and a mustard. They did like a yellow heel, but I had this goldy mustard color, so I thought that will be cute. And yeah, I spent like 12 hours on that yesterday. And I think it's just adorable. So even as a beginner, you can make something really fun. And I just think this is such a great pattern that I had to make it quickly, tell you all about it, and get it out there. So definitely check out Pacific Knit Co. I don't know how popular they are. I think they should be more popular than what they are. They've got some great YouTube videos. They've got some great promos on there. They're mainly active on Instagram. And it's definitely worth the money for what you get. And if you want to try it out, go and get the burger pattern. It's free on their Instagram. I'll link it, and then you can try out the system. But I've tried out the system twice now with the one that I paid for, this free one, and I definitely recommend it. So following on from now, I'm going to put all the footage of me making my burger sock, and I'll see you next time. So I started out knitting my sock by putting the pattern together, and what I did was I counted up how many rows it recommended in my K. Jones pattern, and then I put a mark up the top there on this chart of how many rows, and then I put how many motifs would fit in there. So of course we've got to have the top bun, the bottom bun, and the burger patty. So we started with that. Next up, we're definitely going to need some sauce, and my favorite sauce is tomato. I also thought we should get some green on there, so I just went with that whole stack of avocado, tomato, and cheese. I thought about the lettuce, but then I went with bacon. And I hate when you buy a burger and the cheese costs extra. Like, come on, cheese is essential. Just put it on the burger. So anyway, I glue them all together, and oh, I don't know why I would put it that way. Everybody makes their burgers different, I guess. And then this is my finished chart. Ta-da! So like I said, make sure your chart is upside down while you're working. And so I did the cuff pattern, and I did one row of cream. And next I'll get started on my burger bun. Burger bun finished, and I think it looks totally fine, but once I get all the other dark colors up against it, that's when we start to see that it's a little bit too light. But you know, there's also a lot of ends. I tucked them in just so it looked nice. There is a lot of ends when you do color work. Next is the sauce. Love my tomato sauce. I love how this doodle turned out. It translated really well. Next up was the bacon, and because I chose to use 3 colors and don't know what I'm doing, this is when the problem started of a little bit of pulling and bunching, and I think it's just the way that I'm floating my colors. So later on, as you saw before, I do get a lot better at that. Even though these charts are quite simple, as I work, I cross everything off, and we've got a slice of avocado. And I just turn it the other way just to check how it's going. I think it still looks really good here, even though the bun is a little light. The problems continue with the tomato. This is only 2 colors, but because there's only a few stitches of each, it got a little bunchy. And then we got our cheese on, and things started to get better again. So I think I started to concentrate on floating. I think I watched a video. Then I checked it on my foot to see how the bunching was going. It didn't really get any worse, but you could see it there. And the good news is it did fit. Now, I had been tying knots because I was trying to be lazy. So I actually went back through and I untied all the knots, and I loosened up the stitches with my needle. And then some went a little too loose, but you know, I fixed it the best I could. And then I decided I needed to tackle these ends because it was just getting so thick and lumpy while I was working. They're all just on either side. So I wove them in how you do weave them in. I got my knitting needle and jabam! That's so much better. All done. It's a little bulky, but you know, what can you do when you're a beginner? I don't know how to weave in ends. So I'm really happy with how my colour work came out, especially for really the first time of doing it. I have dabbled with my other project, but this is the first time popping it on a sock, and it definitely makes the sock go by so much faster. You're so excited to do the next doodle, the next motif, and work your way through that large part of the pattern. So I definitely recommend doodles. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see. And check out these other videos.